So I'll be talking about a game I made with Alina Constantin, who's the artist, called Shrug Island. This afternoon I'll be talking about the larger philosophical and process issues. So for now I'll just like to show you the game. And that animated character is actually how I got involved. I just fell in love with it and got in touch. So let's see, I want to play the video. Okay, so the basics of the world is there's an island with creatures called Shrugs on them, and they live in intimate connection with the island. So they don't just live on the island; they're kind of their lives are totally intertwined with the island. And the island gets flooded once a year, and the Shrugs are shapeshifters, so they change into birds, fly away. And then when the floods recede, they return, but they've kind of lost their memory of the island, so they have to remember their ways and how to live in harmony again. And so as the game starts, two of the Shrugs land on the island. They land very close together, and you'd think that they would try to just come together, but the game is actually that they can't reach each other there. And here you can see kind of illustrated their connection to each other across distance. And the purpose of the game is the two Shrugs, Lee and Shri, have separate paths to follow across the island. And so they each have to go their own different ways from here, and you have to bring them together. And things are intertwined such that you have little puzzles to solve for each one to progress. And one puzzle for one character unlocks the puzzles for the next character, so they have to go together in harmony. And so this is Lee. She's kind of the reflective, observant character, and so she has a character ability to kind of see a hidden layer. So she shapeshifts into a vision layer, and she can find things that other Shrugs need. So in this case, these two hammer guys up there, they need another hammer. So she has to find all the pieces and put them together. And when she accomplishes that, then that unlocks the next level for Shri, the other character, to go to. And so this is Shri. So he's a kind of gender neutral character. He communicates by 5 notes. So he has 5 notes he can play. And with those notes, he can either move small bits of the island back and forth as needed here to help this other character get to his instrument. And then he has little music puzzles. So then when he gets the instrument, he'll play something for Shri, and Shri will have to manipulate it a little bit and play it back in a slightly different variation to solve his puzzle. And one of the key elements is this kind of the emotional connection between the characters while they're apart. And we illustrate that by having them think about each other as they're going through, or just kind of waving and whistling to each other as they're done. And there's a hidden character in the game who's called the Watcher, who kind of is the connection between the Shrugs and the island. So he's kind of an oracle kind of figure, and he controls the passage of time on the island through these threads, and you don't get to meet him until the very, very end, but you can hear his presence. So these threads here, actually, they tell you when you've done all the puzzles that you have to do in a stage. And also, Alina is she's not like a tech artist. She likes working with her hands. So she painted a lot of these things on stone. So there are the threads. You can see them upstairs in the display case. So, the basics are, as I said, Alina's an animator. I'm an audio person. Neither of us had made games before, so this was our first first shot at it, we hooked up with a good programmer, and the. I don't want to take too much from this afternoon's talk about it. It was a bit of a process. So we met through the Kickstarter, and the Shrug world is actually is much more. This game is just kind of an intro to the world. So it started as an animated film that she made for her animation degree, just traditional hand drawing. But the world itself is conceived as a large community. And so this is an introduction to the characters, and part of the view is that there will be a village, a community of Shrugs, and in later versions of the story, whether they happen as a game or an installation or what, so regardless of media form, the later version, they have communication problems, so it's not all supposed to be like cheery children's game. They have communication problems. They have to figure out why they're kind of misinterpreting, and the island is so integrated into their lives that when their community starts falling apart, the island also starts getting weak and sick. So in this first part, you're kind of awakening the island and bringing it back to life. And in the second part, it will kind of degrade as their communication falls apart, and then you have to work to fix that and to get them communicating properly, and then that will bring the island back to life.